So we've been talking about the stiffness of this new intake boot, and it's like ABS plastic. I was surprised at how stiff it is. It's not going to move, and the difficulty of getting at the carburetor. Well, I went on my first real test of a ride yesterday, and I blew through most of my gas in about 26 miles. I didn't actually get to reserve in 26 miles, but I did notice that it was spewing fuel out. So I took, after reading some stuff on the forum here, I pulled the gas tank. It comes off super easy, just 5 bolts, and you lift it right off after you got the seat off. Take the cap off the carburetor, loosen, switches over on its side really easily. So access to the jets and stuff isn't that big a deal. I did change my float level when I had it off. So we'll see. I know it's not ideal, but carburetor work really isn't ideal. So I'm not too concerned about how that's going to go. But again, I'm really impressed with the performance of the 2023. The carburetor, I like the way it runs better than fuel injection. Of course, that's a personal preference, but I prefer it. I definitely prefer the pink plastic. It gets a lot of attention out there. That was kind of fun. People was like, "Oh, I like that. Where'd you get your plastic?" Comes that way. That's factory. Had also some people that didn't like it, like give you the side eye. Obviously didn't know what the bike was, but whatever. That's fun. Anyway, carburetor access isn't awful until you got to take this off, and it is going to require taking the subframe off. And when I do that, because I think I'm going to have to, I'm going to take the shock off. We're going to do the suspension once it's broken in. I got a tuner, so he's gonna do my suspension, and I might have my spring if it's an actual KYB spring and it's a good spring, which they may have used, because that shock looks like a KYB shock to me. But if it's KYB spring, or if it's a high quality spring, it's not sacked out by the time I get to it, I'm gonna have it powder coated purple to match the side graphics, or I'll get an actual KYB spring to put on there. They're plentiful and not very expensive. So, and it seems to be sprung right for my weight. I'm 165 pounds, and I would guess the back is a 4.8. I know it because I read it. The fronts feel a lot like a 0.44. I may go ahead and try a progressively wound coil and do some other tweaks to the suspension, but this was supposed to be about carburetor. So carburetor access isn't impossible. Super easy if you just take the tank off. So good luck.